I'm back! I know I've been gone for quite a while, but I wrote a book that's being published and my life got way too hectic to maintain this channel. But my daughter recently told me how much she missed making Barbie YouTube content, so we are back at it. And I have a lot of fun projects I want to share with you all, starting with this one. Back in the days before I started this YouTube channel, I made my daughter a cute little Barbie hotel room that you could fold up to store away when not in use. The quality of it is not fantastic. The paper is already falling off of the walls, and I'm just not in love with this build anymore. I was recently inspired to make her a Barbie cafe because her dolls don't have anywhere to go. It's either the house or maybe another house. I suppose we have a Barbie vet set, but that's about it. Since today is Valentine's Day, I thought the perfect project would be to share how I am redoing this room and turning it into a cafe. As you can see, I used all of the original pieces of foam board and it is still assembled in the exact same way. There were some pieces that had to be re-glued, and I did strip all of that original scrapbook paper off and replace it with some new stuff. I really wanted to go with an urban vibe, so I loved this white brick scrapbook paper, but I didn't have enough of it to fill in the gaps going all the way down, so I decided to do like a wainscoting look on the bottom. You see me gluing together some 1/2-inch strips of foam right now. I thought that gave the best look as far as the raised and creating shadows, plus I didn't really want to paint. So we're using this soft, squishy foam instead to make the wainscoting. Once I was done with all of that, it was time to move on to the floors. I did have to remove the original flooring that was in this hotel build, but it's still in great shape, so I want to put it back on. However, the room is going to be bigger. I had it bent and turned in a bunch of places when it was a hotel room, but now we want to open it up and make it nice and big so there's plenty of room for the Barbie cafe. I ended up having a piece of foam core that was almost exactly the right size. It was just about 1 inch off in either direction. So that was a really easy fix. I just measured a couple times before cutting. My dad is a carpenter and he always taught me to measure twice and cut once. So that's what you see me doing here. And once it was cut to size and I made sure it was going to fit in the room, I just covered it with more of the same sort of contact paper that I had used originally. This is actually from Dollar Tree, and it comes in like these strips that are a little bit bigger than 8.5 by 11, maybe 9 by 12. I haven't really measured them, but they're pretty easy to find. I have found them at multiple Dollar Trees. So this is pretty easy to find, and each sheet is only $1, so I had more than enough to finish this room. I did glue back on the original piece in the same spot that it had been glued. That way, when I fold up this room, there's still a floor on it. But the other 2 pieces of flooring that I made are detachable and can just be stored inside. After all of the flooring was done, I wanted to make a bakery display case because this is like a Barbie cafe / bakery. Maybe eventually I'll even add ice cream. It's, the Barbies needed a place to go. They're just bored all the time. I used a couple of wooden boxes that I had on hand from the Dollar Tree as well. This is just a square one, and then the rectangle piece was actually the bottom of a chest that I had unscrewed. And I loved how they kind of stacked together really easily, and I didn't have to build a shelf with supports. I did line it with more of this pink fluffy foam because I thought it gave it like an insulated quality. In my mind, this is a refrigerated display case. I really wish that I had this perfect Barbie pink that is on all of the Barbie playsets. I actually plan to go to Michael's in the very near future and see if I can find a Barbie pink color, because this pink color that I have is really not a perfect match, but I do think it all kind of comes together in the end with all of the different shades of pink. But I'd love to hear what you think once you see the final product. This case was not tall enough, so I added some scraps of foam and I covered it with this metallic scrapbook paper because, again, I was kind of thinking this was like a insulated cold case, so the metal gave me that refrigeration vibe on the bottom. Once that was all glued together, I wanted to add a countertop to this display case. I wanted to try to match the one from the Barbie playset piece that I'm using here in the back, but I didn't have any scrapbook paper that was a perfect match. So I just used this kind of gray marbled one, and I did cover it with some packing tape to give it a little bit of a shine and make it look more like a marble or a granite. Once that was all taped up, I just used hot glue to secure it to the top of the box. And then I'm just placing it in front of this Barbie playset piece. I'm not gluing it. I want to make this all very portable so that we can change this space around. I think this Barbie playset did originally come with a shelf here, but my daughter has lost it, so I replaced it. Again, using some more metallic scrapbook paper and just little scraps of the foam core. I could have painted it pink, but again, since the pink paint I have doesn't match this Barbie playset piece, I thought using more of this silver scrapbook paper was the way to go. These tables were the entire inspiration behind this cafe. I got a bunch of the Make It Mini Valentines, and they all came with a little table, but they were too short to actually be Barbie cafe tables, so I had to glue wooden dowels to them to rise them up and make them tall enough. I found this cute little frame at Dollar General. It is technically a magnetic frame, but I don't have any type of metal to secure to the walls. So I just used some of that command strip that you can detach so that if we want to change up the decor, change up the menu, put in different pieces of art down the line, we can easily do that without ruining the scrapbook paper. I also printed some art pieces that I found using Canva. I really liked the sort of minimalist vibe, so I just found this really cute coffee with cinnamon hearts on top that I wanted to use. And then I also found a picture of some donuts kind of falling from the sky, and I thought that was another really fun piece for this cafe. I thought it needed some life. It just felt a little sterile and stale. So I had these pieces of fake greenery that I decided to glue all over the back wall. And then I added some little purple flowers here in the corner just to give a little bit more color and dimension and texture to this space. I have a ton of resin donuts that have just been hanging out in my garage for like a year. So I decided to pick through them and try to find all of the sort of heart shape, pink, really light and fluffy ones, and I just glued them to a piece of clear plastic. That way I can switch out this bakery display case in the future for different holidays. I also had a croissant and a muffin and a couple little pieces of cake that I think came with the set that I got from Five Below. So we glued those onto a strip of plastic as well so that I could fill out this display case with some things that weren't just donuts. After all of that was done, it was time to do some finishing touches. I put the tables back in the room. I decided to put the taller table in the back and sort of make it like a standing room only table, and then decided to use the shorter tables with 2 chairs. And then the second short table, I just added this cute little Barbie love seat in the corner. I also decided to use hot glue to add some texture to these windows because I really don't want to have to find backdrops to put behind them every time we want to use them or film in this space. And I really love the hot glue on clear plastic windows hack. I love how this Barbie cafe came together. I definitely did a Galentine's Day diorama. So you see it's all of the ladies hanging out with their friends. And my daughter hasn't seen this yet, so I'm actually going to give it to her as soon as she gets home from school today, and I'm so excited. If you liked this video, please click like. If you want to see more videos like this in the future, please hit that subscribe button, and I will be back very soon with another exciting Barbie project to share with all of you.